If you are an intermediate guitarist stuck in your progress level, even after going to music school over 1 year, then there's a significant reason why this is happening. And by the end of this video, we'll be able to diagnose not only what that is, but also I'll give you certain suggestions so that you can change your methodology around how you're approaching learning and practicing music so that you can see faster progress in lesser time. Number one, a music school, please understand, is just a system that follows the curriculum based on a predefined song list. Learning songs can be great for a beginner. They need to do that because they need to know basic movements. But once you're an intermediate guitarist and you learn how to look at a piece of paper, look at a piece of tutorial, and teach yourself your guitar arrangements, solos, chords, and everything, you start to see that you've become a parrot who only knows how to read from a script. In fact, imagine how many of our friends used to do elocution of a poem back in school, where it was very robotic, right? That is exactly how you feel right now as an intermediate guitarist, because other people might clap for you, but internally, don't you feel like, hey, man, I don't really think I have these skills? Because if a real musician were to see you, you'd be caught red handed. Well, don't worry. That's a problem that many intermediate guitarists face. And what do we mean by intermediate guitar? Number one, it is not the skill of being able to pick it up fast. That is a beginner skill set. And if you have mastered that, then great, you have made a lot of progress. But what do you do next? The next task of an intermediate guitarist, a real intermediate guitarist, is to develop a sense of freedom of music, of being able to think of musical patterns in their mind and also being able to execute that. That is tough. Why? Because parroting is just one way of learning. There are several ways of learning music, apart from just being able to memorize stuff and implement them. So, when you go to music school and you try to follow a curriculum, you're following what they have charted out as the best course of action without even knowing how you progress along that trajectory. So, what can we do to change this? Number one, it is very helpful for every student, even when they join a music school, to understand what are the skill sets in different dimensions. Different people are different. Some people can sing, so they have a inner sense of pitch and hearing. Some people have a great sense of rhythm in their bodies by which they can feel the groove. Sometimes that can be a bad thing because it makes you less patient to understand, read the patterns, and implement stuff, which is probably where you're stuck. Or you could be a creative mind who gets all these ideas that you want to be able to put on your own guitar. And because you're not able to do it right now because either your theoretical understanding is weak, which is a skill set that is different from musical understanding, or you're not able to apply that theory, which is the skill set of applying your musical theoretical knowledge to practice. Often, music is not a simple skill. Maybe when you're learning the guitar, it becomes even more complicated because, as you have already realized, a piano is much easier to understand compared to a guitar, which again has all these hidden, jumbled up patterns which you need to practice and memorize and analyze so that you can use them creatively, like we spoke about. Now, I am making a analysis card to help students, individual guitarists like you, really understand where you are in your skill level and not just a plain blank definition of intermediate guitar, which many people believe, oh, if you can play your power chords, your major minor scales, and if you can solo a few songs or copy from the internet, many people believe that's an intermediate guitar skill level. I would not disagree. I would say that's an early intermediate guitar skill level. There are also many layers beyond that, like an understanding of groove, an understanding of improvisation, an understanding of layering chords and hearing the changes in chords so you can change the way you play your solos, reacting to each chord change. All of these are different skill sets. So I'm creating an analysis chart. And if you'd like to be a part of this project with me and my guitar community, so that you can also get to understand where you are in your guitar journey, click the link below. Until next time, my final advice would be for you to not just go and depend on the teacher or the curriculum or the music school that you follow, but also to do a lot of self research and take your questions back to the music teacher or the music institute. And they should be open ended not only to help answer these questions for you, but also give you activities and assignments that will help you self reflect that informative material so that you have a more clear and intuitive understanding. Well, until next time, you're going to see a lot more conversations in this channel with my students, a lot more practice sessions that we do. So you can truly see that every person has a very different style of approaching music. And as an intermediate guitar player, your main goal should not be how to learn music. Your main goal should be how to learn musicianship, developing that independence.
Thanks.